Supreme Rice. Since the 1930s, supporting Louisiana farmers and communities throughout Louisiana. To find out more, go to supremerice.com.
Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Rufino's on Highland Road, welcome to the Friday edition, the last show here before Christmas. Did you win? No?
What do you think? What do you think?
Given the reaction, probably not. And, of course, it would have been a nice payoff. We were exchanging Christmas lottery tickets here. Our annual scratch off and see if you win. Jimmy almost won, almost, but not so much. Kind of like the Rams last night. Almost,
I didn't almost win. I thought I won. The Rams thought they had it in hand.
At 97%. Feel pretty good about that, right?
I like that kid Shaheed.
He has made a difference for the Seagulls, no question about it. The kick.
Is he catching anything?
Yeah,
he's got how many catches a game? Like one or two?
Well, it's gone up dramatically in the last.
Well, it should. It's going to take some time to learn the route tree and learn some chemistry with Darnold.
He had two big catches on the game-winning drive last week for them, and
did they play last week?
They played the Colts.
Yes. Okay,
the game. Okay, the game-winning drive. So he's played 7 games for them. The first 4 games he caught 4 passes, but in the last 3 games he's caught 9 passes. Okay. And he actually last night did not have a catch, but he had the punt return and he had a 31-yard run. So he figured into the box score pretty significantly. In that comeback, at which one point the Rams were a 97% chance to win. And these two teams have played now 127 minutes of football across 2 games, and the 2 games have been decided by a total of 3 points. But the Rams have blown big leads in both of these games. Last night, it was 30-14 with 8 minutes and 18 seconds to go. The Seahawks have never won a game in their history when they've been trailing by 16 points or more in the fourth quarter. So that was a first. In the first game between these teams, the Rams had a 26-7 lead against the Eagles and lost that game as well. I said that they blew both games against the Seahawks. It was the game against the Eagles that they had a 19-point lead, and that was that was early in the third quarter. So the Rams have blown some big leads in games this year. We thought that
what other games again?
They blew the 19-point lead against the Eagles. They had a 19-point lead in the second half against the Eagles. Yeah. So that's 2 double-digit leads in the second half that they've blown.
The Eagles can get hot,
and they did, and the Seahawks did as well. Seahawks had to convert 3 two-point conversions to do this. There was some real statistical oddities.
Did you know what was going on in real time on the lateral? I did.
I didn't see it. You beat
Charbonnet
me home
very casually picked it up. It was like
I saw the highlight.
If it wasn't in front of him, I did.
Yeah, you beat me home last night.
That's right.
We had the guaranteed Christmas party, so we missed the first part of the game.
Yeah, I knew. I knew it was going on. The announcers kind of didn't. Now, once they started showing the replay, they did, and it's not a fumble; it's lateral.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The 3 two-point conversions, and amazingly, this is the first time in NFL history since they brought the 2-point conversion in that a 2-point conversion has decided in overtime.
Well, it's the first time the team has scored a touchdown first and lost in overtime.
Yeah, so they've done the new rules.
And the reason, keep in mind, if you're wondering, the chart or not, this is a divisional game. There's all kinds of division. They don't benefit from a tie at all. They lose a tie. And keep in mind, you're going to give was it three minutes and change at the end, the last score. in overtime.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so basically a high probability that the Rams have one possession. That's the game.
Right.
Okay,
correct.
So you tie it. It doesn't. The Rams would gladly have taken a tie. Okay?
Yeah.
So they would have milked the clock. So you're going to get a tie or a loss. So kind of, hey, we'll take one shot. Take one shot. And it wasn't as much Darnold. It wasn't as much the tight end. That offensive line won that 2-point conversion for him.
And
he looked and he looked and he looked straight drop back and too much time.
That offensive line was much better than they were in the first game, and in a lot of the last several games. Seahawks rushed for 171 yards last night, almost 7 yards a carry. Now Walker ripped off the one long one, but they had good success throughout the game.
Well, what about the Rams? Offensive line. What about the Rams' offense?
Well, but the Rams' offense has been good. The
but
Seahawks
the
running game has not been as good. In the first,
they got outgained the first game.
Not in the first game against Seattle, but I'm talking about in general. The Rams' offense has been very good.
Yeah, I know, but the first game
they got outgained.
This was supposed to be one of the top 3 defenses in the league. They shredded.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 583 is what it was. Is that
581? Yeah.
581. 581 plus 3 turnover margin. You lose.
Seven passing plays of 25 yards or more. And this is without Devontae Adams, who was out of the game. We thought, there's going to be some extra attention paid to Puka Nacua. Would make sense, right?
Bet the under on him.
They paid attention to him running free in the middle of the field, running free down the field. He had 4 of those gains over 25 yards and finished with 12 for 225 and 2 touchdowns. Pity you if you're playing against him in the fantasy playoffs, as some of us were.
The Rams had 249 the first game to 583.
At 249, I'm going to say without looking, is their lowest output of the year.
85 yards more than double. Plus 3 turnover margin, and you lose. I kind of, in the short of it, I kind of gained more respect for the team that lost. I thought in each game the team that lost was the better team.
Yeah. That's how
Darnold
numbers,
had to overcome some adversity.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about him. Stafford's better than Darnold. He played better than him last night. And it's kind of clear, too, that Devontae Adams, who had kind of some pauses in his career at his recent stops because he wasn't playing with stronger teams, Stafford has revitalized his career. That's how good Stafford is playing. And then he plays unbelievably last night, and they lose. You can't blame him. And so his odds actually, and when you're betting these awards bets, his odds go down. He was minus like 280. He was now minus 230. After that performance on the road without a key player against a top 5 defense. I mean, that should have. I guess if they hold on to win, he's minus 800. But I'm just trying to say, when you're betting these awards, it's when we talk about, what Pavia and Mendoza.
Right.
I mean, they didn't lose.
Switch give them the exact same numbers that they had and switch the team records.
I watched.
Pavia wins it in the,
Yeah.
In
a landslide.
Yeah.
A landslide, yes.
Like last year's game again between Minnesota and Detroit, the stakes in this one are huge. It's the difference between the number 1 seed, a bye, home field, and all the way down to the 5th seed having to play in the first round on the road. And that's what the Rams lost on that 2-point conversion last night. They win, they're going to be heavy favorites to win the division and be the number one seed. They finished with the Falcons and the Cardinals. Now they need some help. Seattle would have to lose to either the Panthers or 49ers. Now both of those games are on the road. They're certainly not layups, especially with a cross-country trip on a short week against Carolina. We've seen Carolina pull some big upsets already this year, but that was a huge game for Seattle last night. And, as far as – I know we missed the first half, but one of the best games, if not the best game of the year in the league.
What was better?
I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
Yeah. I mean – no, it was the short, this deep in the season, all kinds of playoff seeding and playoff implications involved. I was wrong on one thing. I said whoever wins is going to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Rams are still a favorite this morning, plus 425 to plus 500.
How is that possible when they?
Because
you're gonna tell me a wild card, and I know I believe you what you're telling me, but a wild card is going to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Well, Seattle can lose. San Francisco
They could.
can lose.
They could, right?
I mean,
if this holds, if these seedings hold, what do the Rams drop to? I mean, are they can't possibly be the favorite if it ends this way. There's no way you can say they're going to go on the road for at least 2 games in the playoffs and be considered the favorites.
Well, it's not at least. It's probably at least 2 games, but it's they'll have to go on the road against a weak division opponent, the weakest division winner. So you go on the road there, but there could be upsets on the other 2 games, and then again, so they could, it's possible.
If they opened at Tampa, they would be what? 4 or 5 point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what it is right now. Tampa's got the. Tampa, I think, has got the tiebreaker.
I think the market, the betting market, still thinks that that the Rams were the impressive team, the more impressive team.
Well, if you're Seattle, okay, you got the win. You control your own destiny for the number 1 seed, but your starting quarterback in 2 games, you're going to see this team again. Yeah. I would bet anything if these teams are going to play somewhere in the playoffs. Your starting quarterback has thrown
I don't know about that. They got some good teams in the NFC.
Your starting quarterback has thrown 6 interceptions against this team in the 2 games that they've played. That would concern me more than a little bit. And I give him credit. He made some plays in the fourth quarter that he had to.
A lot.
But 6 turnovers would – look, they won the game. Both games were really, really close.
So you come away from this game having less or more confidence in Darnold moving forward? He had to come off the mat, man.
A little bit,
plays.
A little bit more because of how it finished.
Yes, indeed. I mean, at some point, if you took Seattle last night, you're like, damn it, it's a tennis match. I mean, I'm gonna take Darnold over Stafford. What am I doing? It's boxing. No, it's not.
If you would have asked me with 8 minutes to go in the game, I would have said way less.
Yes. But
we signed up for 60.
I mean, he. What did he finish on? The ones he finished on were really good. Getting ready for graduation yesterday. We had some people come over for walk-ons. We had some people coming over here for today. It's festive over here at Ruffino's. Come on by. The place is decorated. It looks sharp, man. It looks really sharp over here. And we also want to remind everybody, we're looking up the DraftKings line right now with the DraftKings Sportsbook this Sunday, Football Sunday, from the brand new Bally's Sportsbook Casino downtown, the old Atrium. And one of our regulars on Football Sunday, we got a happy commencement to him. So he went on a turbo plan, man. He got in and out in that college career. Matthew Baychuk.
Yeah.
So yes, indeed. Yes. It was Sunday, Charlie.
Good.
It was our Sunday.
Good. Yeah.
I think you had already left by the time they showed up.
I did. I had to move along.
Well, so congratulations to all of our graduates in this fall commencement ceremonies. Appetizer features today over here at Ruffino's. Chicken and sausage gumbo. How's the roux? Is it a dark roux? Is it a light roux? We got chicken and sausage gumbo today. Yes, indeed. So the angry shrimp also, Charlie, you love those.
Yeah.
The crispy Gulf jumbo shrimp with a sweet and spicy chili glaze. Our entree features today and through the weekend, the filet au gratin, 8-ounce 44 Farms filet tenderloin with jumbo lump crab au gratin, duck fat roasted fingerling, potatoes. Suggested wine pairing is a Valvron Zinfandel out of Sonoma. That's a red wine. It's not that white Zinfandel. It's a good out of Sonoma. Love those. I got another one in Sonoma. Ravenswood. Some good Zinfandels out of there as well. Pan-seared grouper, the pad thai stir-fry Gulf shrimp with mixed vegetables. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank Family Chardonnay in Napa. We love our Frank Family Chardonnay, our Frank Family wines, period, here in the Baton Rouge area. One of the biggest sellers of Frank Family in the whole damn country. So come on by and see us here at Ruffino's. Nice underpick. We told on Outer Locks last night, said I hope it's Charlie and I come on. We got a 0-0 score.
We did not.
27-0.
It's 34-0 now.
Just left. I feel like Russell Lurksleben trying to put it through the uprights.
They're going to take the second half off. They'd pretty much have to. Live at Ruffino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Oh, Sarah, what's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing. Just digesting that game last night. Exciting, as you guys were talking about. I was sort of on the wrong side. I was more of a Rams fan last night. I have a nice futures ticket on the Rams NFC from last March, if you can believe it, at 17-1, right before they picked up Devontae Adams. So curious at how they're still the favorite due to the fact that they might have to go on the road, like Charlie was mentioning. And if anyone can keep losing these games the way they do, it's Sean McVay. I mean, I don't understand. He can't come up with a play call on 3rd and 3 except for running straight up the middle, and it never seems to work. And if they could figure that out, they might be an unbeatable team. You know, some kinks in the armor on defense, but I mean that offense. I mean, it should be able to convert 3rd and 3.
And, I mean, you're on your way in a game where you have 583 yards. I mean, Stafford, how do you take it out of his hands, at that point? So, I mean, besides that, I mean, they also call the plays where they generated 583 yards. So, it's unreal. So we bet these awards, these props and these future bets. And Stafford, after that night last night, which is a highly respected defense on the road without a key weapon, I mean, he looked like the MVP. He looked like the best quarterback in the league, and his odds actually went down from about minus 270 to minus 230. And not only that, but
I saw 370.
Oh, he was 370 before the game at some places.
370 to 400 before the game. Yeah, now he's down to 220. It's unbelievable.
And so, but this is part of the team. It's part of the individual awards are the team's accomplishments are big in this whole thing. And also with the coach of the year, McDonald's basically about to go bye-bye. Now he's basically flipping the coin to Vrabel.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we discussed it during the Ohio State-Indiana Big Ten championship game when we were looking at the Pavia odds, and it was making no sense. Like, Pavia wasn't on the field, Mendoza wasn't on the field, but their odds were swinging based on third down call by Ryan Day and a missed field goal by the Ohio State kicker, which kind of makes no sense, and kind of makes no sense that the odds for MVP are swinging because Drake May wasn't on the field, and Stafford, for as good as he played, I mean, you're right. He took some huge hits, all those yards on, he didn't have the interceptions like Darnold did. You even saw some movement on Darnold for MVP. I mean, give me a break. Darnold is not the MVP of the league. And I was discussing with a few people earlier this morning, saying, "Oh, it looks like Stafford's a guarantee," but I don't really see it because, as you said, you almost have to have the team win. And I don't know the stats on this, but I'm pretty sure the MVP has been coming from either the 1 or the 2 seed now for like a serious amount of time, like almost like 2 decades. You have to almost be the 1 or the 2 seed to win the MVP, which is, totally ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. I think we can all agree the best player in the league is probably Josh Allen, but he has a problem. He lost to Atlanta, looked terrible against Miami. Patriots beat him once. They're probably going to be the wild card. So that's the dilemma. It's almost like, hey, maybe if Drake May runs the table, he's got a center stage this Sunday night football versus Baltimore, who's been a little bit suspect on the defensive end this year. If he puts up big numbers, that's the last thing in people's mind, and maybe he becomes a favorite again.
Chris, you make a point about the inability of McVay to call plays. Maybe the most surprising thing in this game, in a game that was full of statistical anomalies, they scored to make it 30-30 with 6.5 minutes to go. There were 6 possessions after that, 3 for each team, and nobody scored. Now, the Rams missed a makeable field goal, but they couldn't even get themselves in position to score, and you figure there were at least 3 different times I thought one of the team or the other was going to win this game because all they needed was one more score.
And, Chris, I know Allen is on his best day. His ceiling is higher right now because his legs, okay? But I think Stafford's outplayed him this year. I mean, overall. I mean, it's
I would agree.
So what's he got 40 TDs and 5 interceptions now for the year? I mean, it's just and you see a key what I always draw a blank the receiver that was hurt for the game. I mean, he was on skids. Stafford has revived his career, man. I mean, he's lit that spark, and how much was he dependent on him? It was like he wasn't even on a team. The way they went.
Stafford has thrown for almost 1,000 yards more than Allen has, and he's thrown 15 more touchdowns and 5 fewer interceptions.
Yeah. You got to give him the MVP, man. Listen. We can go into, he's never been first or second team All-Pro and this and that. And even when they won the Super Bowl, he led the league in interceptions that year. But, damn it, I said this earlier in the year. I said, Charlie, I think he's playing the best he's ever had. He has. He's got to win it. He's got to win it. So, but we'll see.
Well, I hope he wins it. If he doesn't win it, I hope Drake May wins it. Those are the two positions I have. I had it hedged pretty well. I had the Drake May at 95-1 from the beginning of October. And I've come back with Stafford every time he's been plus money. So, that's where we are right now. I might take, maybe take a little more Stafford at some point. You figure those stats that you just mentioned with Josh Allen are so out of whack that they can't give him the MVP. But, when he does, Herculean things like he did last week against New England, everyone remembers that. And if you finish strong, sometimes that matters the most.
Yeah. I think, though, fair, right or wrong, this is more, he's also had a very good career in Stafford, and it's kind of a culmination of this. In May, it's his second year. It's just not. He's got more years. He's got more chances ahead of him. I just think that, and Allen won it last year, which hurts him. Had he not won it last year, all that stuff.
If you
so
put the
everything involved
side,
because.
He's got 11 more touchdown passes than anybody in the league. Jared Goff is second. He's got the fewest interceptions in the league of any full-time starter.
Oh, really?
In the league,
It's
he's tied with Jared Goff in that category. So,
I think when the emotions settle down of them losing the game, I think his odds will continue to grow. To strengthen. So we'll see. Hey, how about these? To present. Mendoza with the Heisman Trophy. It's the Ohio State kicker. Here you go. What you thinking, man? Tonight's game, Alabama, Oklahoma, in the other playoff games this weekend.
Well, I don't really need to bet the game. I have Bama futures. That's my biggest position for the national championship. I also have Oklahoma from middle of the summer at 100-1 for the national championship. Now, I don't think either one of these teams is going to get there, but once we can get through this game, we need to present some hedging opportunities with the positions I do have. The one thing I did play on the game when Bama was favored, I know you're not supposed to tease college, but I teased up Oklahoma, and I put them with Detroit in the NFL. I think Oklahoma, with this defense at home, should be able to keep a low-scoring game like they did. They beat this team twice in a row. Maybe Venables and Oklahoma just has Bama's number. A lot of people forget the reason Bama didn't make the playoff last year is they got rolled by the Sooners. And I know Bama's outgained them 2-1, but this line, doesn't it look fishy? I don't know. Maybe the injuries are worse than they're letting on with Ty Simpson. I know they're getting Jam Miller back, which should help the running game for Bama. But we'll see. It should be exciting. I'm raring to go for tonight. The other games, I kind of lean Miami if you can get 3.5. I think A&M's been a product of their schedule. They've played 6 teams this year that had their coaches fired: Auburn, Florida, Arkansas, LSU. 4 teams, and they played Missouri without Bo Prabula. They beat Mississippi State. They were down 30-3 to South Carolina, a 4-win team that beat absolutely no one. So maybe A&M is just a product of their schedule. I don't want to really trust Cristobal and Beck, but I will say Beck has the most experience of anyone in this playoff, in this tournament. So maybe he can weigh on that. And they got some pretty big weapons on the Miami side of the ball. A lot of speed on defense, a lot of speed on offense, and maybe the best player left in the playoff, Malachi Toney, who's the all-world receiver. So kind of lean Miami if you can get 3.5.
We're all in the same. Humans was on with us yesterday, Charlie. We all like Miami in the points here. 12-43. Remember that. 12-43 is the combined conference record of the teams that Texas A&M beat in the SEC. So, it's just
their best win was way back in September. That was a long time ago.
Again,
Notre Dame.
Yeah. And that was I mean, yeah, you still got to give it to them. I mean, it's
No,
the same team. Notre Dame was. Yeah.
This team is nowhere near in the form that team. Doesn't mean they can't get it back, but they're nowhere near in the form that they were in September.
Yeah, they're not. What was the line on that game earlier this year? Texas A&M and Notre Dame.
It was under a touchdown. It was like six and a half,
something like that. So. 12-43. It's the way it's worked out. So an 0-8 Arkansas team, Auburn and Mississippi State 1-7, South Carolina 1-7. So yeah, we'll see. I think Concepcion and Tony are kind of a wash, though. I think both are really explosive players for each team. So that's kind of a wash. The two things we're going to cross our fingers with, and that's one with the quarterback, who we know and he's played in more big games than Marcel Reed, and two is the bench. And, I mean, we all know what Mario Cristobal has done in some big spots along the way.
I'll give you another little angle. The kicking advantage has to go to Miami, too. This as Randy Bond for the A&M is only 11 of 18. Although 3 of his misses are from 50-plus. But Carter Davis for the Canes, 14 of 16 with a long of 53. He's been pretty good from 40 to 49 as well. So, in a close game, a small spread, kicking game might come into play.
All right, any futures that you would offer at the prices currently now? So Ohio State plus 210, Indiana plus 290, Georgia, Texas Tech, on and on. Any prices here that you think can make a run?
I mean, I still think Texas Tech is good value. I like them over Oregon next week. I know a lot of people on Oregon, but you get a great price of the higher price of the other 4 favorites, Oregon, Georgia, and of course the 2 Indiana and Ohio State teams. If they can just get their red zone issues figured out, I really like Texas Tech to make a serious run here. Best defense in the country. They've beaten everyone by 20 points or more with their starting quarterback. The only loss, obviously, to ASU. So I really think Texas Tech has a life shot. I want to give you one more play. I like under in the JMU Oregon game. Both these teams play very slow pace. JMU 122 out of 136. Oregon right behind them at 103 to 136. JMU runs at 62% of the time. The Ducks run at 56% of the time. I don't think Bob Chesney's going to want to get into a shootout in his last game with the Dukes going up in Austin. That's not what they're trying to do. They're going to try to do ball control, no turnovers, rely on the defense, albeit versus a weak schedule, but they only give up 16.3 points a game, 4 yards a rush. Figure they can try to slow it down. And I don't think Oregon's want to show all their cards because they're going to be going up against that Texas Tech team next week. You got to figure Dan Lanning and Moore are going to have a few tricks in the bag for next week. So I expect a low-scoring game, not going to show all their cards, a lot of ground and pound, a lot of running, a lot of, slow, it's a slow-paced game.
All right, Ducks Dukes angle for you on the way out, and we'll give it to humans yesterday too. But that start to the Rose Bowl, down 35-0 before your seat is warm for the Ducks last year against Ohio State. That's on their mind the whole offseason, and I think you're going to have a really focused, a high alert. I'm going with the minus 11.5 in the first half. I just expect a really strong, concentrated effort out the chute for the Ducks against the Dukes. So we'll talk to you on Sunday, brother. Football Sunday.
All right, sounds great, guys. Yeah. Hopefully we get a few winners this weekend, and we'll be on a roll.
Good luck, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, Football Sunday from the brand-new Bally's Casino, the DraftKings Sportsbook downtown, the Atrium. Parking's easy. They got a valet parking, or you can park in the garage as well. Come on by and see us 10 a.m. to noon as we set it up for Football Sunday. Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title at 296-0060. Our long-standing staff, our great team at Legacy Title, wants to wish you and yours Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith, buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. It's Chad Reynolds at Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Jimmy, Charlie, and Troy. 3 best buddies sitting around talking sports bets. Let's welcome in Troy Macker from Bet Rivers.
How about that game last night, Mr. Macker?
Yeah, it was something, wasn't it? I mean, it was anticipated to be the best Thursday night game of the year, and maybe one of the best Thursday night games in recent memory. We don't get a good slate, and it lived up to expectations. We got a much better weather system and field play than we expected. I was expecting it to be low scoring and ugly, and I couldn't have been more wrong. What a game indeed.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, what was the longest odds bet that you guys took at Bet Rivers as far as the money line on Seattle when it looked really bleak? I mean, I've heard some different odds, quotes, and probability numbers. What was the longest shot you guys took on Seattle money line in game?
Well, I'll start with this. Before the game, we took a $100,000 wager at minus 127, the Seahawks to win. And so that bettor was sweating out, the entire game. The longest odds we took were 33-1 on the Seahawks. I don't have the time of the game. We put a $35 wager on that. They'll pay out about $1,200. We took a $500 wager on Seahawks live at 15-1. That pays out $7,500. So we had stuff all in between, but 33-1 was the longest in-play odds on the Seahawks to win.
35-1 in an NFL game that they won. That's got to be a season high, huh?
The Seahawks were. I'm assuming that was when they were down 16. They had never won a game in the history of the franchise. 0-155 when they were down at that point. I mean, so yeah, those odds.
Max, are we here? We have any longer comebacks than that? You think 35-1? I mean, what's the biggest comeback of the year?
It's got to be the Cardinals.
Denver, New York, but the Giants are bad, so you couldn't give the Broncos too long, right?
Right.
The Broncos were shut out for 3 quarters.
Yeah, but Max, also Arizona in Tennessee.
That was the worst. Yeah.
How much were they down?
Well, the guy, they would have been down more had he not fumbled the ball going into the end zone.
Still down like 18 going in the fourth quarter.
I mean, these Rams blew a 19-point lead in Philadelphia. That's another.
Yeah. Troy, do you remember any? I'm just, those are just few off the top of our heads as far as the biggest comebacks this year. So,
I mean, I know for a fact there haven't been any at 40-1. So if there was one, it was probably around 33-1, maybe 35-1 might be the longest, but it was probably somewhere in the 28-1, 30-1 if I had to guess.
I did
this
see
is probably the longest.
That Cardinals-Titans game I did see at one point, and I was mad that I didn't hedge. There was a 50-1. Now, I'm aware that was kind of an offshoot, but that was Cardinals-Titans. That's the game that I remember for obvious reasons because Survivor. Not great.
Troy, where's the action for the? Are they betting Alabama again? I mean, they bet them we started the season. The most public play was Alabama against Florida State. We ended the year with Alabama being the biggest public play against Auburn, against Georgia. Did Alabama go off as a favorite in that game? They flipped. I think. I mean, they were getting bet, and it was what's that?
Yeah, that one you speak of, it did flip. And this one flipped too. I believe Alabama was a 1-point favorite when this opened. It's now at Oklahoma -1. There is more money on Alabama than Oklahoma, but it's not super strong. 57% of the money is on Alabama to win outright, 67% of the money on Alabama to cover, 52% of the money line tickets on Bama, and 56% of the spread tickets on Bama. So, they have more than 50%, but it's somewhere between 50 and 65%.
It's usually the case, these lopsided matchups, and the most lopsided matchup is Oregon and James Madison. Dukes and Ducks in Outson. Is anybody betting James Madison? Because it looks like a little respected money has come in today, knocking it under that key number of 21 for 21.5 to 20.5.
Yeah, I mean, on the spread, right now, it's only 54% of the money is on the Ducks to cover 21.5. So there's some money there. I think Oregon's a very good team. The number is really big, but frankly, I haven't watched enough of James Madison this year. They've performed pretty well against Power 5 schools. They only play maybe one a year, and they're averaging in their last 5 games against Power 5 teams. They're averaging 30 points a game. Now, granted, one of those games was an 80-50 win in North Carolina last year, which is one of the most bonkers games I've ever seen. So, that's huge. In terms of money line, there's 3% of the money on James Madison to win. 11% of the tickets are on James Madison to win, which is probably a little bit bigger than I thought. 78% of the spread tickets are on Oregon, but then 54% of the money. So, you're talking 46% of the money is on James Madison to cover 21. Listen. I have a $5 money line bet on James Madison solely because my buddy and next door neighbor plays soccer. James Madison, and my wife's got a lot of friends who went to James Madison. Yeah, but that is a hard bet. I don't even know if I can pull the trigger on a spread bet because I don't trust Oregon that much, given that James Madison's frisky and it's a big number.
Oregon, one of the top 3 finalists for the Joe Moore Award, Charlie, for the offensive line. So they, a lot of times coaches speak, and what's the old saying, Troy? You ever want to hear a college football coach lie? Just stick a microphone in front of his face. But Tom Lanning, when he took the job, said we want to become more of a physical, a power running, a line of scrimmage team. Talk is cheap. He did it, Charlie, and he has done it.
And where that showed up the most? I think one of their most impressive wins all year was at Iowa. It was the terrible weather. It was a physical, low-scoring game, and Dante Moore had to take them down in a game-winning drive, time running out, and he did it. And that's not the type of game you expect from a finesse team. They're not a finesse team. They may have been in the past, but they're not now.
Don't you think Pavia and all of his attention kind of motivates Iowa to play in that game? And Iowa's one of those 3 finalists. They got a little bit more punch offensively. I mean, think about the games they play. I mean, it took, a 50-yard touchdown with less than a minute to go for Indiana to beat them. That thing was going into overtime. And then here's Oregon. I mean, here's 2 of the top 5 seeds in the thing, and Iowa's got them on the ropes, man.
Yeah, they did. And when they got the ball, either at their 20 or the 25, I'm like, let's see if Dante Moore can do this in under these conditions with this kind of pressure on the road, and he did at one of the more impressive drives of the year.
All right, I hear those dogs barking. So, Troy, that means you got an underdog somewhere in your pocket. Come on, give it to us, buddy.
Oh, gosh, underdogs.
Pro or college, we don't care.
The only one in the pros I kind of like is it's the underdog that covers Chargers +2 at Cowboys. But what's funny is this week across the board, college, even basketball, there's nothing I really love. I think that I'm a trends guy, and I think we have too many trends, so they cancel each other out. I think the books have gotten it pretty right. And also football's a week-to-week sport, so you can't really go off a lot. I'm struggling at all. There's also a big boxing match that I can't find any value in. My best play is I got this before the line move, but with Saints -4.5 against the Jets, it's just 6.5 now. But Saints 4.5 with the Jets is the only confident play I have all weekend, I think.
How you feel
Are we ready to lay 4.5 with the Saints?
The line's moving the other direction. No, I'm not.
Oh, it is? Where's it now?
It's 6.
No, that's okay. We're ready to lay 6 with the Saints? It was 3. It opened up.
I'm not.
That's a lot.
If I got to have an underdog, I'm willing to take at least a shot with the Jaguars. I know they're on the road. Denver has won 6 games by 8 points or less in a row. Mm-hmm. Are they not just due to lose a game? The Denver Broncos. I mean, I'm catching 3.5 with a good Jacksonville team.
You say that, Charlie. Peyton, the bench does count in close games. Okay?
Yeah.
We're seeing it in Chicago. We're seeing it in Denver. Okay? The bench does count in close games. We see it with the Los Angeles Chargers. All right? Yeah. And Knicks is better at the end of the games.
Well,
because the less he has to think, the better he is.
They can win. I'm catching 3.5. The Texans kept it within 3. The Raiders kept it within 3. The Chiefs kept it within 3. Troy's Commanders kept it within a point. I'm taking the 3.5 with Jacksonville.
All right. So, Troy, we got you on Monday, but, we're off next Friday. Huh, Max? Troy's New Year's resolution, how he favors. He favors that hardwood a little bit more than that gridiron on the college level. We're going to make a New Year's resolution 2026. You need to get to an SEC venue for a big game, Troy. We will host you, okay? We're going to change your little attitude as far as the college football atmosphere. You come down here and see this beautiful crowd and that electricity going on, everybody having a good time. We're going to get you down here. We're going to get next fall.
I love college football so much. I love that I don't have a team so I can just root for good games. But these last 3 weeks every year kill me because of the discourse and the negativity around rankings and people seeming like they deserve things. And I as a college basketball guy, the conference winners who make the tournament, pick them at larges, and let's roll out the ball and play. and that's not the way college football wants
Nah,
to do
whoa. You can have your conference champion over 18 games, lose one game, and then a 5-11 team in the conference goes to the big dance. No, that's not perfect either now, Troy. I mean, come on. We're going to put more emphasis on one weekend than, 2.5 months.
Yeah, and then guess what? Sometimes those teams make runs. St. Peter's wasn't the best team in their conference. They made it all the way to the Elite Eight, and that was a great story.
And it's basketball is different from football. You got to have some guys up front that can. There's no 3-point line in football. That can equalize the talent. So it's totally different.
I would be more than glad for you guys to grab my butt and drag me down.
Yeah,
I've been dying to go to one.
Troy, just get down here. We got a place to stay. We got don't pay for anything. We'll show you around town. But it's listen. We'll grant you our favorite sport, the one that moves the needle, that gets our goose, our chill bumps going at these games, is the most poorly run. Trust me, out of it, pro or college, college football is the most poorly run and operated.
And it has been improved so much since we started following it.
Yes.
Well, no, it's the second most poorly run. The most poorly run is the world's biggest sport, soccer. You think college football, they can't hold a candle to FIFA.
Well, there's no money involved for, corruption in soccer. So, Troy, have a good weekend, brother. We'll talk to you Monday.
You do the same. Thanks, guys.
All right, don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. At United Community Bank, your business is our business. We support the hardworking folks behind local business. From initial startup loans to ongoing planning and assessment, United Community Bank is here for you. Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes. Stop on by and discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Mansour Delane wrapped up his 5th All-American nod yesterday. He becomes one of only 14 LSU players, the history of the school, that were an All-American on the 5 recognized voting bodies, the AP, the Football Writers, American Football Coaches, the Walter Camp, and the Sporting News. I was shocked that Jaden Daniels is not on this list, and neither is Tommy Casanova. It was actually Michael Penix. I looked it up. I thought it was Bo Nix, too. The Walter Camp people gave it to Michael Penix.
Well, they won the league.
Yeah, they did. The other names on this list recently: Malik Neighbors, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Grant Delpit, Mo Claiborne, Patrick Peterson, Glenn Dorsey, and then you got to go. We had a 20-year gap. You go back to Dr. Joe Albergamo, of course. We knew Nacho when he was playing here. Jerry Stovall, Mooney Winston, Gaynell Tinsley, and Billy Cannon did it twice.
Dr. Notch is keeping me in line, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, get on the treadmill a little bit more, boy.
Not a bad pickup
Max,
out
real
of the
quick,
transfer
what do they
portal,
think about Delpit? Because he was so fun. He had a little injuries at LSU, but his instincts. What do they think about him in Cleveland?
He's had a really good year. They really like
all purpose on defensive and special teams, huh?
Absolutely. They like Delpit this year.
Gotcha.
Take a break. Bruce Marshall with us when we come back. Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
He's out there somewhere in the world. Maybe even your local sports book.
Can anybody help us?
Let's bring in Bruce Marshall.
And we return here at Rufino's. Come by and see us for lunch. Real festive atmosphere in here. A lot of people celebrating the holidays with us here at Rufino's.
Yes, indeed, man. Our features this weekend, today and throughout the weekend: chicken and sausage gumbo, stewed chicken thighs on Dewey sausage, rich chicken broth, dark roux, okra with the aromatic rice, angry shrimp, the crispy Gulf shrimp with the sweet and spicy chili glaze, filet au gratin, the 8-ounce 44 Farms filet tenderloin, jumbo lump crab au gratin, duck fat roasted fingerling potato. Suggested wine pairing is a Valveron Zinfandel out of Sonoma County. And the pan-seared grouper is our fresh catch of the day. Pad Thai stir-fry Gulf shrimp mixed vegetables. Suggested wine pairing is a Frank Family Chardonnay out of Napa Valley. Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm coming for lunch, by the way.
Yes, indeed.
Menu. My head's still spinning from last night, though. I mean, there were some real. That Ram Seahawk game was something. A couple quick notes. By the way, the team that benefited last night from that result, besides Seattle, is San Francisco. 49ers now, they control their own destiny the whole way into the playoffs because they can win out. That means they beat the Bears next week if they can get by Indy, and they get Seattle at home in the finale, and they did beat the Seahawks the first week. So San Francisco was the quiet big winner last night. Also, I'm telling you, some of this review stuff, this forensic officiating in the review booth, listen, Sean McVay was right to be dismayed about that two-point conversion play, and that gave the Seahawks the two. I don't know how you could overturn what they called on the field there. It's just, especially since the referee was signaling a tip pass, so everybody stops. I mean, it's very, very curious the way that.
Yeah, but Bruce, it was a lateral. It wasn't a pass. It was backwards.
I don't know that it was, Jimmy, because we didn't have a camera right angled on the line there. It was a little bit off, and besides, I mean, the referee's there signaling tip pass when he's there, so everybody stopped. I don't think it was.
I saw it differently. They had a good enough angle where it clearly went backwards, and that's a lateral. I mean,
I don't think it was a clear enough angle. We just saw it differently, but yeah. So anyway, but in any way, everybody stopped. I mean, the referees are saying that when they do that like a tip, it's like a pass. Everybody stopped. I don't know if the whistle blew, but
so nobody recognized it, including Seattle. They didn't challenge it. It was the replay assistants.
Right.
I thought it was the right call. It was a lateral, and, I mean, it's just a live ball. Now, Charbonnet was so casual. If it's not right in front of him, he could have just looked like he was as disinterested and as low alert level as possible. Nobody knew kind of the rule or the recognized. I mean, we've seen much closer ones. Man, you go get the ball. It's a loose ball. It could be a lateral. It might not be. And I saw it as a lateral, but if if it's no replay assist, I don't think Seattle ever challenges it. And that's
I don't think it would either.
That's a scoring play. Isn't it automatic? Is that considered an automatic
scoring
review?
play? Yeah.
Okay.
I will say we see this more in college where an incomplete pass that gets overturned to a fumble, as long as there's an immediate recovery, it is ruled a fumble, even if it's ruled incomplete.
We know the technical ruling or enforcement of the rule was correct, in my opinion. And Bruce saw it differently. So, I mean, but I want to get the call right. But nobody on the field is going after the ball. I mean, the ball is just laying on the ground. It was like
it's a no lose for Charbonnet. I mean, go pick it up, go ahead. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I know, but the Rams defenders were not reacting.
No, they didn't
at all.
Think it was.
At all.
Think it was.
So if they react, they could have probably got there. But the Seattle bench state, nobody, including Charbonnet, who gets who just picked it up. It was right by him. So,
Bruce, how similar is this to last year's Detroit-Minnesota game? The winner, the number one seed, the loser, all the way down into a wild card spot, but arguably the second best team in football, or at least in the NFC.
Sort of, but that's going to apply more to Seattle-San Francisco in 2 weeks because if the Niners can win out the next two, that's the game that's going to be Detroit-Minnesota last year. The Rams are in trouble right now because the way the tiebreakers work and that loss to San Francisco hurts them. But we'll find out in 2 weeks. Everything is going to be the same for Detroit, Minnesota, as for San Francisco, Seattle, as Detroit, Minnesota last year. If the Niners can win the next two and Seattle wins over Arizona or Atlanta next week again.
Who do you think's the best team?
Yeah, it's still to come, but very similar. I mean, that'll be the Sunday night game on the last weekend if the Niners and Seahawks win until then.
Who do you think's the best team out of the three?
I was going to say the Rams until last night. But there's a couple things that keep popping up for the Rams. One, as good as they are, their special teams are not good. And that's cost them in losses this year. Cost them again last night. Terrible punt coverage that allowed Seattle to get back in the game. They've switched kickers, and Revis had made a couple, but then he missed a crucial one last night. And you go back to earlier in the year, a kicking game really cost the Rams. Certainly the Eagle game cost them in the first 49er game. That's the problem. And I saw it late in the game, Stafford, I know how good he is, but I beamed last night. I watching that game, I told myself, I'd rather have Bo Nix leading a last-minute drive than Stafford, because Nix can run. And Stafford, when you get him flustered in the pocket there, things break down too much. And I thought Seattle found something that worked, even though that was a great touchdown pass to Nakua in overtime. But that's a good question, Troy. I don't know. It might be the Niners. I mean, now that Purdy's back, we will see. But I think two of those three NFC West teams are going to meet for the NFC title. I'm not sure which two, but I think it's going to be out of the West will come the NFC.
I'm still sticking with the Rams. Even last night, they have 7 wins over teams right now with winning records. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. And San Francisco does not have that much. We talked about it's so tricky because it's a year-to-year league trying to predict schedules when it starts. But San Francisco, before the year started, thought to have the weakest schedule in the NFL. Now I just don't know about all of those injuries, Bruce. They have had some brutal injuries, and I kind of still think it's the Rams. I mean, it's both of these games, again, with Seattle and the Rams in Los Angeles, I felt like the better team lost both games. It's just, it is, man, what a game, though, with all of the late implications. Bruce, is this the most improbable comeback? You've had Tennessee and Arizona. You had the Eagles and the Rams. And what was our other one that we had? Oh, Giants in Denver. Giants in Denver. Which of those was, or am I missing one, Bruce, that was the biggest, most improbable comeback this year in the league?
Those are all in the mix. I still go with that Tennessee, Arizona. The way those plays unfolded there, that was beyond it. But those other ones are all close, and that last night certainly was up there. I mean, I thought the Rams had that thing home and hosed for a while. That one thing I agree about. The Niners. Without Bosa and without Warner, I mean, they've taken some defensive injuries. But this is actually my favorite 49er team I've seen in a long time because they played through that. They've got Purdy back now. They got Kittle came back. He missed some time. I don't know. It's tough, and they did. They had a lot of the season without Purdy. They won at Seattle. They won at the Rams. I wouldn't count San Francisco out of this yet.
No, and Mac Jones gets the Earl Morrall Award if they do run the table. And it's funny because both San Francisco and Seattle control their own destiny. Let's move on to the college. Oklahoma and Alabama. They bet in Alabama again. Do they realize that Nick Saban's not the coach anymore? But anyway, they have been a very public team this year in college football. It started out Oklahoma a slight favorite. Alabama's a slight favorite tonight in the college football playoff.
Yeah. How about Nick Saban buying a piece of the Nashville Predators, too? Good for him. That's what I'd do if I had all that money. I'd buy a piece of a hockey team.
He was chirping this morning about the playoff, huh?
Oh, he what?
Oh, yeah. Well,
to get rid of all the little teams?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's paraphrased, but yeah.
If I win Powerball tomorrow night, I'm going to make my bid for part of the Predators, too. Anyway, so this game, the line is whipsawed a little bit because we saw, right at the outset, Oklahoma very briefly favored, then Alabama went to slight favor, then it moved back to Oklahoma. Now, it's still in a very narrow range there, so you've just got to pick the winner. Watching Alabama the last time we saw them, it just didn't look good against Georgia. But, that almost makes me think they should be due to a bounce back. But more than anything, it's the zigzag and the rematch angle. And we saw that for most of the conference title games. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Boise's the only one that won both times in when they played in the Mountain West against the UNLV. The other rematches were all the team that lost, including the SEC. It's going to be very hard, I think, for Oklahoma to replicate the dynamics of that game 5 weeks ago in Tuscaloosa, when they did, like many teams, keep Alabama's running game really in check. But it was the 3-0 turnover edge that really, and big turnovers, that bring that game in Oklahoma's favor. Now, that's the way they play. And we mentioned the Broncos a second ago in that game against the Giants early in the year. This is the one college defense that reminds me the most of the Broncos defense, the way they can make these big game-changing plays. That's the way Venables coaches these guys. They collapse the pocket from the edge, and some of that same stuff could happen again. But I don't know that it will. Jam Miller apparently is back tonight for Alabama. That might help the running game a little bit. But mostly, watching Oklahoma, ever since Mateer hurt his wrist, came back a bit early in the Texas game and he wasn't quite ready. But this offense hasn't looked quite the same as it did in earlier September. Go back a few months before Mateer got hurt. Kind of hit and miss, and we've seen some flashes, but they haven't been all that consistent, not scoring a lot of points. Bama's won on the road this year. I think they go in there and get this one tonight. But I don't know if they get past. They get Indiana if they win. I guess so would Oklahoma if they win. I don't think either of these teams get past the Hoosiers. But I think Alabama gets past them tonight, maybe lower scoring. But
Got to update it. Alabama's dog now. Their bet Oklahoma is now 1.5 today, so that is flipped back. So Oklahoma opened up a slight favorite. Bama moved to the favorite. Now it's back to Oklahoma. Charlie, remember this round last year, what the home teams did, huh?
They were over, right?
4-0 straight up.
I'm sorry, 4-0.
What about 4-0 against the spread?
Yeah.
4-0 both.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight up and against the spread. Brucey, tomorrow, Miami and Texas A&M, they don't want to compete with the NFL games at 4 and 7:30 tomorrow night. So the best matchup of the three tomorrow is 11 a.m. local time kickoff in College Station. A&M's now down to 3, 47.5.
Yeah, Jimmy, it is the best one tomorrow. And that's right. They were smart not to go against the NFL. A&M, I thought from the way the polling went, they might have a reason to be aggrieved a little bit. I mean, they were 3 going into that Thanksgiving weekend, and then they lost again to Texas. They dropped to 7 beneath Ole Miss. Big difference between 6 and 7 and who you meet in the first round here. Now you get a Miami team coming in with a Camp Pot, and it looks like an NFL quarterback probably, and some NFL receivers. They're kind of scary. But I thought some of that, the big score lines that Miami put up in November, and they were really gunning that offense. They're trying to run up scores, and they had some teams that just sort of, like NC State in that game, and Pitt. I mean, they just sort of stopped playing in the second half while Miami kept scoring. It's not going to be the same way here. I look back more to the games they had trouble in, October and November 1, Louisville and the SMU game. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get that going against the Texas A&M's defense. Now, Miami's defense is a top 10 defense, so they're top 11. Very good. So this will be a challenge for Marcel Reed. But I kind of think, and even though Texas A&M does not have a great spread record at home this season, this price is low enough where if you think Texas A&M is going to win, you can go ahead and lay the 3. I also like that they pulled out some close games this year. I know Miami won that close game against Notre Dame too, but Texas A&M also beat Notre Dame close. Arkansas, they had to survive a threat in that game. Really had to pull one out of the fire against South Carolina. So this team's kind of been through the wars and survived most of them here. I'm going to give Elko a shot in this one. 24-17 A&M, my score forecast. Maybe a little under the total, but I think A&M gets there.
All right, A&M is -3. Juiced up a little bit to -118 at the DraftKings outlet where we'll be doing football Sunday at the brand new Bally's Casino downtown at the Atrium. 2 lane and no lane here. Ole Miss 17.5, 57.5. They'll be fired up in the Grove. You've been to Vaught Hemingway, Brucey. We've been to Vaught Hemingway. It will be an electric atmosphere tomorrow.
Yes, it will. And, they're talking biggest game ever at the Vaught Hemingway and all that, but I'd maintain it's a darn big game for Tulane, too. And, unless you count the Cotton Bowl a couple years ago against SC, they are 1 win away, just in case they can pull this thing out. Brett Norsworthy told me, he said, if Tulane can win, I guess they'd be in the Sugar Bowl the next game. The first time since 1940 they'd play in the Sugar Bowl. So, it's a big. This is big for Tulane too. And here's the rematch thing again. Now it's a little different when you've got an obvious class edge here with the SEC team that won 45-10 back in September against Tulane. But Lane's departure, now I know all the distractions really came before the Egg Bowl, and they handled that pretty well, so it's calmed down up there since. And there's not a real track record of, with how teams or coaches who are leaving or who have left have done in bowls. It's about 50-50. But I have a feeling Lane's departure is going to be a negative here, offensively for Chambliss in particular, because he and Lane really had a connection this year. You could tell Chambliss was really working absolutely in concert with Lane. And now that Kiffin is gone, I wonder if that's going to work the same. We will see. Nothing to lose here for Tulane, and Retzlaff has had some big games. I know they got whipped up here earlier, and they got whipped at UTSA. But there's a lot of points here. The back door is going to be open. I'm going to lean to Tulane a little bit plus. They won't win. 37-24 will miss my score. But I think I'm going to take the Greenies plus 17.5, see what happens.
Plus 17.5.
We sent the rest of the staff back. I mean, we kept Kiffin here. We offered. There was a work share program and everything, and we sent the rest of the guys back.
A little bit different stance by Ole Miss, allowing the assistants to come back and coach.
I mean, half the LSU staff's up there right now. Right?
Half LSU staff is working in Oxford, and half Ole Miss's staff is working in Baton Rouge. So it's like I don't know.
Dogs and cats living together.
There's a bad joke in here somewhere. Yeah. Let's move on, Bruce. One of the great things I used to love about the goal sheet, the home field values, HFV category. And despite Outson Stadium being half the size as a lot of these monster stadiums in the SEC or the Big Ten, you always put that 5 as a home field value, man. It's a home field value. And, man, don't you think they'll look sharp after starting so poorly? I mean, that thing was done early in the Rose Bowl last year against Ohio State. Yeah. Ducks and Dukes here. Ducks 20.5, 45.5.
I wonder if the Ducks are going to roll out uniforms like the Seahawks wore last night, because that was a new Seahawk look with those shiny green numbers and the shiny green helmets and all that. But anyway, they'll roll out something. You're very right. That was really, watching Kennesaw State this morning, the first thing that came into my mind was Oregon in the Rose Bowl last year. That is there. Also, in mind, 2 years ago, you remember Oregon, before they went to the 12-team playoff, they still had the New Year's Six. Liberty was the team from the group of 5 that got in there against Oregon down in the Fiesta Bowl and just got its doors blown off by the Ducks, 45-6. So that's sort of in my mind, too. My problem here with James Madison, with Chesney still there, but he's on his way to UCLA, I thought they looked kind of flat against Troy until late in the game. They sort of put it together and began to extend the margin. Not quite enough to cover the spread.
Yeah.
But I didn't think they were as sharp as, say, Tulane was against North Texas with the Summerall moving out. I think they fall behind there. It's going to be tough. Oregon is really loaded. You mentioned that stadium there. They built that thing into the ground, too. So you're in there. You're looking up. You're like below ground level, and it's very intimidating. And they can score points in a hurry. Those receivers, Dante Moore, if he wants to come out in the draft, he might be the first quarterback taken. There's a lot of ways Oregon can beat you. I don't think James Madison keeps pace. 45-17. Ducks, this one I will lay the points. And Bob Chesney on his way to UCLA. But some of those James Madison guys might be coming with him. We'll see.
Merry Christmas to you and your family, Bruce. We're off next week. We will return on January 2nd, buddy. And tell the family, tell the grandkids, don't quit trying to sell them on Stanford's a big-time atmosphere. Take those kids to the SEC venue, okay, for Christmas. Put that on their Christmas list.
That's what I'll do. Merry Christmas to you guys, too.
All right, Brucey, take care, man. Have a good weekend.
She can leave the knitting stuff home.
What's that?
She can leave the knitting stuff home.
Yes.
She goes to the SEC.
That's right. It's like Frenchie in the Tiger Stadium for the Saints game.
She was
with
knitting.
The easel. Hey, look, you got some family staying in town for the holidays, staying downtown at the hotels. Check out Town Square Pizza, man. It's within 5-minute walking distance from all the major hotels downtown. You go and you can order a specialty pizza, or you can create your own. Go down the line. You want a little bit? Yeah, give me a little extra cheese. Not so much onion, just a few bell peppers, all that kind of stuff. Got plant-based meats as well as the traditional meats as well. So all kinds of options. They put it in that oven, man, 7 minutes. Bam, piping hot, generous portions, delicious stuff. Town Square Pizza, downtown or north, facing Town Square.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And we're also brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Part Store. Great gift ideas, especially for Dad. You know, the gift cards are wonderful. I understand. You don't necessarily want to get him a tape measure and a storage unit to thing to get put under the tree. Get him a gift card.
You'd rather a tape measure there, Charlie, in a boiling pot, in a jambalaya pot than a tie.
Right. So you let him get what he wants. Maybe he needs a workbench. Maybe he needs a drill kit. The Milwaukee Tools, some of them up to 51% off. The Do It Best deals at 55% off. Channel Lock at 45% off. Yeah, they got some really good discounts on the website, thethibodeaustore.com. Get you to all 4 properties. LaRose, Lockport, Pierreport, Thibodeau. Outdoor power equipment, tool storage, outdoor cooking, cordless power tools, patio furniture. Maybe I love the assist kit, the jumper cables plus the air nozzle. $150. It's a great thing to put in your car with one of your kids. They're driving. You'll be able to get your battery jumped off, or you can fix a flat to get you to safety. Put those under the tree. They're fantastic. And, again, the gift cards, get them at thethibodeaustore.com. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau or Highway 70 in Pierreport. If you're visiting in person, thethibodeaustore.com. New Orleans
Saints.
Saints.
A nice trip, man. Look, with age, I've appreciated the gadgets more. There's no doubt. No doubt. All those things you're talking about, especially outdoor cooking. So
New Orleans Saints are a 6.5-point favorite now at home against the Jets. This line, Max tells me, started at 3.5, where we're looking at it at our outlet here down at the DraftKings. Okay, so
what's the Saints? It was Tyler Shucks,
3 and
rookie
3
of the year odds, Max.
I don't know about his rookie of the year. He's 3 and 3 as a
Last I looked,
starter.
he's 14-1.
What I'm saying is, if the Saints win their 3 remaining games, he is going to win rookie of the year. He will be 6 and 3 as a starter. He will win rookie of the year. Who's his competition? Dart? They can't win.
No. Travion Henderson's the current favorite.
Travion Henderson, the quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah.
6 and 3? Oh, the Saints? We saw what the Saints were before. What is their record without him as a starter?
Well, they're 4-10, so
1 and 7. 1 and 7 without him, 6 and 3 as a starter. That's over, dude.
That's a powerful argument.
I'm sorry. And the quarterback, they give the quarterback awards first. I'm sorry. But a money line, as this line goes up, that money line price goes up. You're getting less than 6-1 probably on a 3-team rollover money line. Okay, you're getting 12-1. I'm just saying the value, 14-1,
and that would also include
it's worth a shot.
Yep. If that happens, that would be 4 road wins too, which should mean something. I don't know.
It's the last game, last home game, and then they go to
Tennessee and the Falcons.
Tennessee and the Falcons.
So all of those are winnable games.
And listen, Tennessee's going to be distracted. Cam Ward's interviewing of coaching candidates. So, I mean, they're going to be a favorite.
Am I supposed?
If they win this Sunday, they will be a favorite in Nashville.
Real quick on Cam Ward before we get back to the Saints. Are you impressed that he's taking that much of an interest in the building of the? Or are you offended that he's like, no, do your job and let me do mine?
No. Once you master your job, you can help out on other jobs, and he is not close to mastering his job.
And I don't like it when players play GM anyway.
What do you think? You think you lighten it up?
I don't like it when owners play GM. I don't like it when players play GM.
And I don't like it when Kennesaw State busts a 70-yarder with 4 minutes to go in the third.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough ask at halftime.
Bye-bye.
All right.
How did they bust
Are you going to lay 6.5 points to the
Jets?
No. This for the win streak, okay? And I'm going to say 3 out of 6, okay? I'm calling that a win streak for the Saints. 20 points against the Panthers, 24 against the Bucs, 17 against the Panthers. Those are the games that they won. 17 against the Dolphins, 10 against the Falcons, 10 against the Rams. Those are the games that they lost. This is the Shook era. Look, I think that they're going to beat the Jets. I'm not laying 6.5 points. On the other hand,
the Jets
have
one
been
of the
lousy.
worst defenses, but this is a recency bias thing. Everybody saw Jacksonville just light them up. I mean, go up and down. They scored touchdowns in their first 6 possessions, 6 possessions to start the game. I mean, they were atrocious. So everybody has seen that. They've seen him limp down the stretch. And this is more of a Jets fade than maybe. But Chuck has quietly gotten, because they were 1-7 before. They're 3-3 with him. People would, when they were 1-7. And then went to 1-8 with the loss at the Rams. Delicano came on the show and said, "Man, this is a tough spot for the first start for this guy," and it was ugly. But I mean, they're 3-2 after starting at 1-8, so he's part of it. Although he hasn't lit up the score. The real story is the defense. The defense has been top 5 or top 4 for the last 4 games. And they've kept them in the game again on Sunday until the offense could kind of finally get going. They're now 17-7 late. Is that the fourth quarter or late in the third when it was 17-7 still?
I thought it was into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 7 points through 3 quarters. No, you're not lighting it up. This streak, and as we talked about, Stafford couldn't have played any better last night, and his odds are longer. He's more of a longer shot because his team lost. So the Saints. Shuck is getting this run because the team is winning.
Movement on the Saints as well. Brady Cook's going to start this game again.
And that's
he didn't look terrible. Huh? He didn't look terrible.
3 picks.
Ooh, Jimmy, he's thrown 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions in the 2 games.
They moved the ball. They moved the ball against it. Now, he did end it. Yeah, the interceptions came late, but I've seen much worse.
He's been sacked 9 times in 2 games.
That's not his fault.
Well, but he's got to get rid of the
Joe Burrow's fault.
5 interceptions and 9 sacks. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in him. It's a stay-away game for me. I think the
they were
Saints win.
Trading scores for a little bit, and then it got ugly when he's throwing. He's forced to. I mean, who wants to punt the ball at that point? He's just throwing into coverage. But I've seen worse. They do have a pulse on offense. Now the Saints defense is hot, so this guy coming in, yeah, that's probably an advantage to them. But he's not like a total stiff where they didn't do anything offensively.
They were down 21-7 early in the second quarter.
They didn't. They scored 5 first possessions, touchdowns, not scored. Scored touchdowns. The first 5 or 6 possessions of the game.
The Jags?
Yes.
3. First 3. Then they punted.
They punt.
They punted.
And then what was the next 2 possessions?
Field goal touchdown. So
field goal
they did
touchdown.
very well.
5
so their
first
trailing
6.
game Stadies averaged 170 passing yards through 2 starts. I haven't been impressed. But
This was the only game in the preseason when the schedules came out that the Saints were supposed to be favored in. Back in the summer, they were like a 1.5-point favorite, I think.
This is the first game they're favored?
Right.
No.
Were
the Giants? Were they favored against the Giants?
No, I don't think so.
It was close.
I'll go back and look at it. But preseason, this was the only game that they were supposed to be
projected
to be, and it was less than a field goal favorite. That was when we were looking at. Max tells me I owe you a margarita because I said that they were going to finish closer to 2 wins.
And I said closer to 5.
Yeah,
the Saints were 2-point favorites against the Falcons and 2.5-point favorites against the Giants.
They were favored against the Giants. Falcons, third game.
Saints have covered in 4 out of 5 and 3 in a row.
Carolina was favored last week, huh?
2.5.
Yeah.
Well,
certainly favored in Charlotte. So
4 out of 5.
So they could be favored in 4 games this year.
You think they'll be a road favorite at Tennessee?
They win, and they've won 3 in a row. They will be favored over the Titans.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But not the Falcons.
No way. No.
Okay.
They can go in that one, win 4 in a row. They're not going to be favored at Atlanta.
Saints covered 4 out of 5 under Tyler Shuck.
Oh, don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since for years, man. My buddy Lucas Ragusa.
1980.
It was 1980?
It was 1980.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie. So you're not thinking, boy, what a beautiful day. It's kind of San Diego light today, man. This is a nice December day. We could give the fireplace just a little time off, but you're not thinking about AC right now. But Total Maintenance right now, it's the time to take advantage of some great savings if you have to replace your AC unit. So we got overstocked AC systems that need to be moved before the new year. Total Maintenance offering up to $5,500 off select systems, as well as steep discounts on the ductwork you have put off replacing for 30 years or so. Your unit is over 10 years old. If your unit had to be serviced this past summer, probably the time. Well, call us up at 480-1000 and we'll come out for a free evaluation and tell you what your options are, because why not take a free swing and see exactly what's going on, what your options are, and look at the savings that you could if it is time to replace a unit at your house. Call Total Maintenance today, 480-1000, 480-1000.
41-6. So if you are a fan of the
47.5, we still live.
The 80s artist Kim Wilde, who sang a song called "Keep Me Hanging On," by half a point, 41-6, late in the third quarter. Kim Wilde.
Kids in America too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop culture reference from you?
That's me.
Wow. Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here to Rufino's. We're also brought to you by the Morris Insurance Group, getting you help insuring all of your big boy toys, your boats, trailers, your motorcycles, your RVs. And if you got hunting and fishing camps, coastal properties, if you're looking for flood insurance and you've had a hard time getting it at a reasonable rate, Morris Insurance Group urges you to look again. Get a free quote at morris-ig.com, or you can call at 225-201-0007, 201-0007. Ask for Buzzy Heidel. Auto, homeowners, and commercial insurance as well at the Morris Insurance Group. Again, online it's morris-ig.com. Oregon and James Madison kick off a little under an hour before the Packers and
they
Bears.
do. Okay.
About
got a little bit of
50 minutes.
Good. Okay.
If the Ducks get out to the start that you think that they will, we may be able to switch over because if things are getting.
So what do you think about my logic there? I mean, so bad the start just drilled them. And look, it's kind of garbage time. I mean, Ohio State let off the gas a little bit, but it's 35-0 in the second quarter.
I not only think that you're right on the fast start, I think it's going to be a fast finish, too. I just think Oregon is so much better than James Madison. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just looking at James Madison's stats. I have not watched him play a whole game the whole year. All I know is they lost to Louisville by 2 touchdowns. And Oregon, and I've seen Louisville play, and I've seen Oregon play plenty. And going into Outson, which is tough even for the best of teams. I mean, look, Indiana, the number one team in the country, they went in there and won, but, man, it took a hell of an effort to go in there. Not only do I think they're going to cover your first half, I think they're going to cover your second half. I think this game is 48-7, 48-13, something like that. I think they're going to blow them right out of the stadium. And I will be watching Bears and Packers,
I know
I
Saban
think.
is like, hey, let the group of 5 have their own bracket and play at that. And he was sort of animated when he talked about it today?
He was cussing. He cussed on the air again.
He's been cussing all damn season.
Okay, well, he was cussing this morning. He said, I don't want to stir up any
BS
right.
or S.
No, S. And but he says, they ought to have their own.
Interception in the red zone. I believe in miracles.
Okay,
you got to start somewhere.
Kimmy Wild.
Got to start somewhere, baby. Come on. Still on 47 in the fourth quarter.
Listen, I love the Tulane story. It's wonderful. But if Texas was going to Oregon and Notre Dame was going to Oxford, I'd be a heck of a lot more. And I'm keyed up for tomorrow. I can't wait. Got the whole day blocked out to just watch football. But if it was Texas and Notre Dame instead of Tulane and James Madison, my interest level in this would triple, quadruple.
Is that who you put? You put Texas ahead of Vandy?
I'm just using that as an example. Vandy would work too. If I was watching Diego Pavia go to Oregon, Vandy. That works too.
If Notre Dame, if Notre Dame had Vandy's results, they'd be in. If Texas had Vandy's results, they'd be in.
I agree. At 10
that
and 2.
Sucks. I mean, that's just,
If you go back in the summer, 10's the magic number in the SEC. Even if you lose the SEC championship game and it's 10 and 3, 10's the magic number.
Well, 10
but not if you're Vandy.
but it fell differently this year. And like Max is trying to project, if a 9-9 LSU basketball season and conference is going to get in there, well, I mean, you got to set with other teams. 10 wins last year is automatic. I mean, Notre Dame's record last year, they're in last year. Vandy, they're in last year. They're not this year. You had a lot more teams that didn't lose as many games, and we all know. Now, Ohio State, Texas started their home-and-home this year. Alabama, Ohio State play a home-and-home 2 years, starting 2 years. So we at least have some scheduled right now. And I'm the biggest critic of these rent-a-wins with the SEC, but I can't blame them. If you are mandated to play 10 of your 12, and then you got 2 wiggle rooms where you can throw, who in their right mind is going to schedule another tough game?
Not only you're not
nobody.
You're not even going to schedule a mid-tier game. Like if you're LSU, okay, and your choices are in those 2 other games, schedule Southeastern or schedule Southern Miss, what do? You schedule Southeastern because Southern Miss on the right day, maybe 2 out of 100, has a chance to beat you. Southeastern, they could play 1,000 times, and Southeastern's never going to win that game.
It might be a bad example because you might have to bring
give me another Sun Belt team then.
No, James Madison.
Okay, James Madison.
No, they're just much more capable. I mean, let's
you caught Troy in one of those championship years where they had a decent club, something like that. Yeah. Well, I'm not playing them. What if I catch them in one of the years?
Old Dominion.
That's another good
Old
one.
Dominion was clearly the second-best team in the Sun Belt.
And don't take what happened in the bowl game. The other quarterback who was considerably better.
Right.
I'm not gonna schedule anybody that's got half a heartbeat. If I'm gonna rent a win, I'm gonna rent a win. You know. I meant to ask you about Packers and Bears. Who do you like in the game?
Kind of like the Bears. I came away. It's another one of those games. I came away with a lot of respect in the Bears and how they competed at Lambeau. That thing was 50-50. They're in the red zone. They can send it into overtime or maybe even go for 2. It's unbelievable the psyche, how sensitive it is at the pro level, at the highest level, when you win or lose those 50-50 games early in your season. It completely shapes your team. And the Bears won it. I mean, they had they're like a 6-2 record, a 6-3 when they had a negative point differential. But man, they're building, and you can see the first-year coach, the rookie coach, his impact on the quarterback. He's got a long way to go, but you can see so much improvement from last year, and they should with more reps, but it's just game management. Man, those 50-50 games, a lot of it is on the game management of the coach, and I think they got a find in him, man. I think it's going to be a great game. Now, with that being said, when Watson went down, as much as Parsons means to the defense, when Watson went down in the offense, Jordan Love was going through Denver's defense, which we all respect. When he got hurt, boom, it got shut down. So he's back and should be ready for this one. But I'm going to lean toward the home team of the Bears.
Bears a 1.5-point favorite at our local shop here, and major playoff ramifications. The Bears with a half-game lead in NFC North.
And don't forget our friends at Downtown Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's team of specialized attorneys at different reasons at different stages of our life. You get in a traffic accident, so much of a hassle, so much. Man, he really does take a lot of the bulk of the headache and reduce the headache about as much as possible. So call him up for initial consultation if you're wondering. You're not a trained attorney. You don't know. We'll let you know if you have a case or not with that initial consultation. 343-1111. Dana and his team of specialized attorneys at the law offices of O.C. Brown want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Tex Morris of Edward Jones Investments. Now, back to Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
LSU safety A.J. Halsey accepting an invitation to the Senior Bowl. You know, can you fix an entire position group in one off season? Think about what LSU's secondary was 2 years ago and what it was this year. You went out and you got a consensus All-American, another first-team All-Conference player, one of your highest-rated recruit stepped up, and then a couple of guys who had played for you before but maybe took that next step with Spears and Woodland. If you're looking to fix the offensive line next year, go get you 3 dominant guys in the portal. Hope one of your freshmen works out.
And it's hard to kind of find this statistic or something like that, but I'm telling you, watching enough games, I have not seen a secondary, trying to not be hyperbolic here, but that didn't drop an interception. How many times, man? Well, that's why he plays defense. Man, how did he drop that? Man, they got their hands on the ball, bro. They caught it. That secondary, great hands,
and they tackled too.
Yeah, that was good.
That was the other thing.
Good.
So you can fix. Now you got to hit. Okay, I mean you can't go out and miss on all you think. But if you bring in 3 offensive linemen in the portal, maybe one of your recruits works out, and 1 or 2 of the guys that are left over takes that next step. That's what the secondary did this year. It's possible, but you got to hit on your guys. There ain't no way around that. So, congratulations to A.J. Halsey. I enjoyed watching that young man play. I like the way he play. I like the way he plays the game.
He's instinctful. Yeah, he's and you could see where he's just not very tall, and so you could see where he would kind of get passed up a little bit.
Yeah.
But how many kind of that it's not by accident that you see sort of these guys that aren't going to impress you getting off the bus because they're not super tall. Whether it's the Trinidad Chambliss, whether it's the Halsey, these guys, because they didn't have the measurables, were not the 4 or 5 stars that can play, that are instinctful. And, when they get their chance, they work their way up the pecking order because they just can put out film. Everybody just wants to bash and bash. That is one of the biggest bright spots of the new era of college football. Man, the guys that are missed and looked over because of their lack of measurables that are really, really good football players get a chance.
Thanks to our friends here at Rufino's. Come on by, man. Look, we're a great crowd in here this afternoon. We're going to watch a little football, kind of hang out a little bit. Big day tomorrow, and then football Sunday on Sunday from the New Bally's. We enjoyed our first trip there a couple of weeks ago. So we'll be there at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. Rohan will be with us along with our entire cast of cast experts giving you picks in the games on Sunday. You're just grinding on Western Michigan.
Looks like they're going to go and score a field goal at least.
Yeah, why would they
over.
kick a field goal up 41-6?
Turn it over. They will.
Put the ball on the ground. All right, for Max Gotro, for Jimmy Ott, for Jordan Kinch back in the studio.
Miami and first half Oregon. Miami, first half Oregon.
I'm going to take Alabama tonight. From all of us here at Rufino's, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.